What's up guys, and welcome to another episode of Facebook Romances, where I basically torture myself looking through the synopsises of self-published books that pop up on my Facebook feed. So without further ado, let's jump straight into episode 6. The first book we have here is by author Sedona Venez, and the title of her book didn't come up with the advertisement. I don't know why it does that, but sometimes the title isn't part of the advert. But when I looked it up, I realized it could be the titles that she realized would stop people buying her book, because this is part of the Claimed by Her Wolf collection, described as 5 scorching hot shifter romances, and the books it consists of are Forever Yours, Happily Ever Alpha, Broken Moon, Wild Things, and Wolfbite. Yep, those puns gave me cancer too. But let's read the synopsis it's given in the advert. 2 gorgeous werebears and one woman who gave up on the idea of true love a long time ago. Down on her luck, plus size single, Sadie doesn't ever think she'll find love. So when her best friend Peyton offers to set her up on a blind date, she initially refuses. Why would she waste her time? Judging by the synopsis here, it's clearly saying that plus size people don't get love, which I can vehemently disagree with. There are plenty of people out there who find plus size people attractive, and the fact that this has to be included as part of Sadie's description shows that there's probably not a lot more going on about her. Nothing about her personality, her ambitions, no, just you have to get in there that it's plus size. Judging from the books that I found on this woman's website, there seems to be a theme where all the women are plus size, which is fine. I don't care about that. But I don't think it really adds much to the character if it's part of their initial description, because what else is there for this character if one of the only things you can find to describe them is their waist size? Coming this fall, Forever Yours, with Sadie, who's bold, ambitious, but most importantly, she's a size 20. This advertisement from Samantha Grosser just starts off with a lovely little message here that says, "So it turns out I can't advertise my newest novel on Facebook because of the title. But here's a picture and a little bit about the book. Check it out for yourself and sure to help me get the word out." So naturally I was curious and I looked up the title of this book, and oh boy, it's called The Sorcerer's Whore. I can kind of see why Facebook didn't want that used as part of the advertisement, but then I also don't believe in censorship, but I suppose it depends on who Samantha is aiming these adverts at, because you can actually choose who your target audience is when you're advertising your books on Facebook. But yeah, maybe avoid using the words whore in your title, or at the very least come up with a title that you can use to advertise, because The Sorcerer's Whore, while I admire how it gets to the point, I understand why Facebook doesn't want to advertise it either, because believe it or not, there are kids on the platform. I was one of them back in the day who lied about my age and said I was 57 just so I could get onto Facebook just that little bit early. But that was back in 2010 when all you had to worry about was who was going to steal your stuff in Farmville. The synopsis says, 6-fingered Mary Sparrow dreams of escape from the brothel that is the only world she knows. But when an old man mysteriously drives her friend to madness, she begins to fear for her life. Then she meets Taylor Toby Church and finds herself falling unacceptably in love. But soon she learns that Toby has a secret past and demons of his own to face. As the web of darkness spreads, Mary must decide who to trust. Can she find a way to combat the old man's malice alone, or will she need to call on Toby's fledgling knowledge of sorcery? In this standalone sequel to Shakespeare's Witch, nothing is as it seems. Okay, that final line, it just ruined it. There's no such thing as standalone sequel. A sequel is a sequel. It's part of a series because it's the sequel to a first book. You can't have a standalone sequel because that doesn't make sense. A standalone book is one that isn't part of a series. So sometimes I wonder if these authors even know what they're talking about when they write these adverts. Maybe I'm the wrong one, I don't know. I'm not going to claim that I'm some expert just because I have a published book as well, but I'm pretty sure that that doesn't make sense. The next book is C.N. Crawford's Dark King, part of the Court of the Sea Fae. And I just have to get it out there. This image that's been chosen for the advert looks like a photo that's been heavily edited on some hair changing app. Like, could this person not find one royalty free photo of a girl with blue hair? Because this edit is ridiculous. A lot of these adverts seem to have the habit of having a paranormal must read or something along those lines at the start of their advert, and it never quotes who said this or where it's from, so I would take it that the author has just written this and this is what the author thinks. They think their book is a paranormal must read. He pressed his hands on either side of my head, leaning down. His gaze slid over my bare skin like a caress. I knew that as much as he hated me, he liked how I look. You need to warm up. Well, well, I murmured. You're as perceptive as you are pretty. What? Why is that necessary? What? Oh my god. Was it my frozen hair that gave it away? Take the bindings off me, I rasped, or I will find a way to kill you with my mind. We've established that I can return from the dead. I will scourge you over and over, I seethed, and I will make it hurt. There's nothing that pisses me off more than when it's unnecessarily just shoved in there that someone is attractive. Like, you're as perceptive as you are pretty. Like, who the fuck cares? I don't care what this guy looks like. Clearly this is supposed to be a scene where this main character's in peril. I don't give a shit if the person who's tied her up is attractive. That would be like the last thing on my mind. These characters are always so superficial that they have to shove it in there that they're attractive or their captors are attractive. My friend Neve read a book once where this girl was like tied to a table or something along those lines, and she couldn't help pointing out how attractive her captors were. Like, that's the last thing on your fucking mind if you've been kidnapped and tied to a table. I could be tied to a table by Cara Delevingne, Jennifer Lawrence and Naomi Scott all together, and I still would not be concerned about how hot they all are. I'd be worried about why the fuck have these people kidnapped me and what the fuck is going on? Am I gonna die? And even if she did find that guy attractive, is he really gonna find her little Michaela looking ass over here attractive as well? Well, probably, considering it's a romance novel, but you get my point. This week's entry into What's That Book is what I can only assume is a fanfiction of The Man in the Iron Mask. If the photo is anything to go by, then I would say that I am on the money. So let's read the description, and oh my goodness, it's a long one. The book is called The Man in the Mirror, and it's by Georgia Licari. It was late at night and we were the only ones in that waiting room. Who do you wear the mask for? Yourself or others? He didn't look away. I wear it for myself because of others. Because they'll pity you? Because they'll make me angry. I don't want any eyes on me. He turned away. I never did. What about my eyes? I asked. For the longest time he watched me without moving until I lifted my hands. The moment I touched the sides of his face, he lowered his head. I went on towards his ears, carefully, but when I touched the string to pull it away, he caught my wrist. His touch seared me and I waited with bated breath. For what exactly, I was unsure. Your pulse is racing, he murmured. I said the first thought that came to mind. I want to see you. He smiled sadly and roved his eyes over my face, his gaze settling on my lips. And I want to devour you. In that moment, the whirled time and my breathing slowed down. My heart stuttered in response and it made me breathless. Okay. His eyes widened. And then, ladies and gentlemen, she was eaten alive. Or that's what I wish would happen. I would honestly love it if there was a plot twist like that in one of these books, like these guys like looked so dramatically at this woman and was just be like, I want to devour you, and they're just like okay, and then he literally rips their guts out. That would be the best plot twist I will ever have read in my entire life. But I'm sure that this goes on to be another hot fantasy where they have sex or something. It's clearly a play on Beauty and the Beast with a hint of The Man in the Iron Mask. And we've got this quote here saying, only she can make me feel again. I bet this fella is just going to end up like the way that girl in Ready Player One looked. Like, pull the mask off and there's only like a wee burn on the side of his face. Or even better, the way they made Jared Butler look like in the Phantom of the Opera movie adaptation. That would just be, that would be brilliant. Brilliantly annoying, but definitely expected, because you can't have ugly male love interests, or then how the guard's gonna fall in love with him. The Siobhan Davis book of this week is called Surviving Amber Springs, and we've got another long description, so strap in here, folks. He runs his eyes over my clothes. By the way, you look hot in his clothes. A cheeky glint appears in his eyes, but you'd look even hotter in mine. I bark out a laugh, leaning in closer to him. Or wearing nothing at all, he adds in a lower, huskier tone, grazing his nose along the column of my neck. His head whips back and his eyes pop wide. You seen this? His voice contains a hefty dose of amusement. Seen what? I jerk upright on his lap and he groans, adjusting himself in his pants. Axel gave you a hickey. My jaw slackens and I'm speechless for a split second. No way. Skeet. Skeet? This guy is actually called Skeet? Like yeet, except with an S? Skeet chuckles again. It's low enough to disguise it, but I quirk a brow, finish that thought. But it seems lonely all by itself. His fingers dance across my neck on the other side. I think you might need a matching one. My lips curve into a smile. You want to brand me too? That sounds so wrong, yet oh so right, he quips, nuzzling into my neck. I tug the shirt aside, granting him more access. My body hums with excitement and my voice oozes delight when I say, do it. He grins at me. Hell yeah, baby! He kisses me fiercely on the lips before gliding his mouth to my neck, right at the point where it meets my collarbone and sucking hard. I close my eyes, moaning and shifting on his lap as he marks my ticklish skin. What the actual, Axel exclaims, and my eyes snap open. Skeet's mouth doesn't leave my skin, but his body rumbles with silent laughter. You gave me a hickey. I faux glare at Axel. And what? His brows climb to his hairline. He's giving you a matching one? Exactly. Skeet lifts his head up, keeping his eyes locked on my neck. Admiring his handiwork as he responds to Axel, you two are so freaking weird. Axel shakes his head, fighting a smile. What the hell is this? This is clearly more of that reverse harem bullshit, because what the fuck? Axel and Skeet seem to be okay with giving the same girl hickeys, and I can't get over how it's written, like, hells yeah, baby. Like, does anyone find that hot? Like, that would turn me off immediately. And once again, we've got a graphic scene, because obviously that's what sells. But this is clearly some sort of love triangle bullshit going on here, except they seem to be okay with each other, macking on the girl. Maybe all three of them are having some sort of menage a trois kind of thing going on. But it's just weird. This is clearly, I've said this many times before, this is clearly appealing to a market that I don't understand, but you could at least make it a bit more, like, what's the word? Hot? Is hot the word? Attractive? Not safe for work? Because this does nothing for me, but then that could be because my ass is as gay as bloody Louis Spence, but tell me, straight people, is this what turns you on? Is this what it takes? Hells yeah, baby, and some guy called Skeet? Leave your answers in the comments. So that's it for this week, guys. Once again, don't send any hate to the authors. There's no point. I admire anyone who's confident enough to put their work out there, because it's fucking hard, trust me, I know. And please check out my book. The links are in the description. Review if you like it. Review if you don't like it. Tell me what you think, pretty much. And follow all the social media links below, and I'll see you next week for the next video. Bye-bye.